Okay, I think we good. Yeah, yeah. Y'all already know what's up. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I'm joined my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. My brother, Santana. Say something to the people.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here with us tonight. And for that, we thank you. And as always, we got a jam-packed show, so we just gonna get right into it.
Each and every show, every Thursday, every Sunday for tapping in, being loyal, being down. We appreciate it immensely. Again, this is episode 161. That's a lot of episodes, y'all. So a quick shout out. Again, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11,000 subscribers. So continue to like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. And share, y'all. Share the video. Comment. Over 400 rewatches of videos of this podcast on this show. So make sure y'all share. Again, y'all share. Um, again, shout out to the presenting sponsor of this podcast, uh, Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps, y'all. Also, my new EP is going to be here soon. May 29th, Winners Loyalty. Again, Winners Loyalty EP is going to be out May 29th. So be on the lookout for that. It's fire. So I can't wait for y'all to listen to it. And it's going to be available on all music platforms. What else? What else? I feel like I'm missing something. No, no, no. All right. So again, y'all, we want to thank y'all each and every episode. Shout out to some of our day ones already in the building and them bad holders. Shout out to them bad holders, them bad holders, them bad holders. Shout out to Winter in the building. Shout out to King in the building. Shout out to Treatment in the building. Shout out to Culture. Shout out to Ebony in the building. We appreciate it as always each and every Thursday and Sunday. All right, y'all. Y'all already know. First segment of the night, popular opinions. And remember, y'all, these are not our questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. This segment is brought to you by Popular Opinions. I'm sorry, by Popular Opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where the label model is create, document, and inspire. So make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. Y'all see the hat, see the box. Yeah, y'all get one of those when y'all, order a certain amount of stuff. So make sure y'all tap into at OUV Records. All right, y'all. First question of the night. Okay, college football edition. College football edition, bro. If you was to start your program, which running back in college, this is all college, no NFL, which college running back are you starting your program with? Number one, Adrian Peterson. Number two, Reggie Bush. Number three, Lethalian Tomlinson. Number four, Ricky Williams. Let us know what y'all think in the chat. This is top tier college. This is top tier college. Yes, top tier college. All these dudes was beasts.
Out of most electrifying, like I'm gonna go with him. All of them is top tier. I'm gonna go with Reggie Bush. Just one. That's what I like the most.
Reggie Bush was electrifying as soon as he got on campus, B. You know what I'm saying? They knew what they had since he was a freshman. That boy Reggie Bush, they used to call him president. That's probably the only whack thing about Reggie Bush is that nickname is trash. For them to call him the president is like, yeah, I remember my first artist name was Prez. I know y'all, that's even worse. That's even worse. That was my first artist name was the Prez, but President for a football nickname is trash. But I mean, his game spoke for itself on the field. He was electrifying, kick return, punt return, and between the tackle, sweeps, student body, counters, however you want it. So Reggie Bush, I can see would why you would go with Reggie Bush. Me personally, I'm gonna go with the Tyler Rose, Ricky Williams, baby. You know what I'm saying? Number 34, number 11, no matter, baby. You know what I'm saying? With that, I don't know for some reason, Ricky Williams made it popping to be a running back for Texas to me. He just made it look popping, like, and then everybody after that was nice after that. Like after Ricky Williams, we had Cedric Benson, we had Jamal Charles, Priest Holmes. I think was a little bit before Ricky, if I'm not mistaken. And there's like several others, that came after Ricky. That was just he started that lineage. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with Ricky. That senior year that he had was crazy. We broke everybody single season record. So I'm going with Ricky Williams. My bro, he went with Reggie Bush. The rest of the world at 34% went with LaDainian Tomlinson. What do you think about that?
No, there's no wrong answer here.
Yeah, yeah. Peterson looked like he should have been playing in the NFL after his freshman year at Oklahoma. That's how dominant Adrian Peterson was. He looked like a grown man. He ran wild, angry, 6'2", 225 pounds, and it was just difficult out there. You know what I'm saying? Tackling that man in space, like nah, and people didn't want no parts of that. And LT, obviously, I voted for LT, but he's the only one on this list that had a 404-yard game in one game. He had 404 yards in one game. I remember watching that game. I remember when TCU was little small TCU, the little small school in Texas, and they played a big game that game, and he ran all over that team. So shout out to LT with this particular segment. Shout out to Phil in the building. He went with Ricky Williams as well. Shout out to Dalen Delana, sorry, Delana. Shout out to you. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion questions. For those who are some of y'all first time watching, again, these are not our questions. These are the world's questions. We'll stick to the answers in the question, y'all. All right. Which character do you want to see have their own spinoff? Which character do you want to see have their own spinoff? My Wife and Kids edition. My Wife and Kids edition. Number one, Katie. Number two, Junior. Number three, Claire. Number four, Bobby Shaw.
Uh, Junior, just to see how they'd write his character, how he would evolve, and see what type of spin-off show they could create with his character.
Low key, like, I don't think people understand the recipe of shows when you have kids on your show. The kids have to be funny. If the kid's not funny, then your show's not going to be funny. Like they just canceled Pop in the House. It wasn't that funny, and I can see why they canceled it because Damon Wayans, he was all right. The son was all right, but the rest of the cast wasn't good. The wife that played the wife, she's beautiful, but she wasn't funny. They try to bring in other people like Wendy Raquel. Of course, she always funny. They brought in the Elvin from the Cosbys. He has some funny parts. They brought in the girl from Esses Atkins. She was decent, but it wasn't funny overall. The kids wasn't funny. My Wife and Kids, the kids are hilarious. So me personally, I did not go with a kid. I went with Bobby Shaw, which was played by Cat Williams. I thought his character had legs and deserved a story of its own. Outside of that, I probably would have went with Katie. You know what I'm saying? Because she looking good. And she was funny as a kid. So to me, I think she still might carry that comedic style. Um, well, more grown up style, obviously. But I'm going to go. I went with Bobby Shaw. So I said Bobby Shaw. My brother went with Junior. Shout out to Jamin. I'm sorry, Jamin T. Shout out to you. Shout out to John. Shout out to the King Griffey sneakers to go with it. That's a fact. I got the King Griffey's on right now. I'm not gonna take my kicks off and show y'all. Appreciate that. Jersey is fire. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So the rest of the world at 45% went with Bobby Shaw. What do you think about that? Hmm. That's a fact. And his role on there, it was just so memorable. He was probably on for like maybe he was supposed to be on there for one episode, and he turned that into like 5 or 6 more episodes where he came back and bought the business of Damon Wayne's character. So fire show, fire show. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion questions. Favorite actress on this list. Favorite actress on this list. And I noticed it was a theme. It was all chocolate melanated sisters. And they all super chocolatey. So I noticed there was a theme to this list. All right, favorite actress on this list. Number one, Keisha from The Shy. Number two, Keisha from Belly. Number three, Demita from Class Act. Number four, Keisha Clark from Forever, the movie series Forever. It's a lot of chocolate on this list. And when I peeped it, I was like, somebody was dabbling in a whole lot of chocolate, and that's how they came up with this list. They just wanted to indulge in all that chocolate. Good chocolate, by the way, too. I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? Why Keisha from The Shy?
Um, she's the best one out of that option for me.
Beverly in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Boogeyman. Appreciate you tapping in. So you went with Keisha from The Shy. I'm gonna have to go with Demita from Class Act. I gotta go with Demita from Class Act. She in that red dress when you watch the movie Class Act, she was just so damn fine in that movie. But her acting prowess, you gotta remember, even though she did Class Act, she also did Boys in the Hood. She played Ricky's girlfriend in Boys in the Hood. So her ability to be that versatile, from being a sex symbol to be funny to being serious, real life, reality type of feel, type of vibe. So I'm going with the actress Demita from Class Act. So the rest of the world at 44%. My bro said Keisha from The Shy. I said Demita from Class Act. The rest of the world at 44% went with Keisha from Belly. What do you think about that?
Options. So I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Top tier actress. I think they always gonna find themselves at being a cat because they're chocolate actors, in my opinion. Even though their acting prowess is very versatile and really good, I think there's going to be a cap on how far that the so-called industry let them try to eat. So, but I hope that would change in the future. We got the power to change that for the future. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, Hollywood Need to Ask Us. We came up with this segment because Hollywood just give us a whole lot of movies we didn't ask for with no type of idea, no true creativity. They just pulling things out their ass. So me and my brother got better ideas for a movie or movie series. You want to start this one off?
A documentary series. It could be a four-part series or however long they need to make this series to answer this question. My question for the series is why is the Aboriginal man of America such a mystery? Or is very ambiguous. The indigenous man, what does he look like of the Americas? Why is that so ambiguous? Very uh it has a lot of question marks behind it. But if you look at the indigenous of Africa of Australia, you know who these people are. But the Americas is, I'm not talking about native. I said indigenous. So it's a totally different terminology, a different status quo when it comes to these words. So my question is for this documentary is why is it such a mystery as to who the indigenous people are of the Americas, both North, Central, and South America? So I would love to see a documentary series about that. I've mentioned books about that where they already have all the evidence needed. So why is it that in documentaries or TV shows or movies that have something to do with the indigenous Americans, when you see it in media, it's a depiction of somebody else, and that is not the true depiction of the indigenous peoples, because we have evidence of what they look like from the conquering peoples who came here and wrote about them. So if you already have evidence about it, why is it such a mystery to depict who they really truly are when it comes to media? So I would love to see a documentary as to why that is.
Idea. Anybody that you want to first in line direct this idea?
Information out there, you know what I'm saying?
I want to see a movie series, preferably 10-episode movie series about COVID-19, the effect of COVID-19, and the aftermath of COVID-19, and of course, show before COVID-19, because the world we live in today is basically a shell of what we lived into prior. But it seemed like the things that we moved on to is not a better today. It just seems like a worse today. Like before COVID-19, people was just out here running wild, going crazy. During COVID-19, people was watching the way they cough, watching the way when they talk to people, and keeping distance. And now that COVID-19 went away, it's like people don't keep distance no more. People are coughing out loud. Like, this is a part of why we went through what we went through with COVID-19, regardless if it started here or not. So I would love to see the effects and the mental effects that it did to people, because it was a mind sex to people from being actively going outside and doing this and doing that, for having to be relegated to stay home, to have to sit with their self, to have to sit with their spouse, to sit with their kids for an extended period of time. So, me, I would have loved to be at home for COVID-19 as a kid, because they didn't have to go to school for an exorbitant amount of times. I know when I was a kid, I'm playing video games all day or trying to go outside with my friends. But if we can't do that, I'm definitely on the video game. So I would have loved it. But I would love to see the real effects that it had to people, because I really feel like it changed people. And I know they probably won't cover the portion on why there was a COVID-19, as far as uh, the things that we're not privy to as the public. But I would like for them to cover at least the effects of people before, during, and after. So that's what I would love to see as far as a 10 movie series, the effects of COVID-19. Appreciate that. So yeah, so Hollywood, holla at me and my bro. We got the ideas, man. So holla. Uh, another fire, dope ideas. 161 episodes. So you should be. Shout out to Paxton. Uh, you know, Shout out to Paxton. I don't know what you mean by that, but don't come here and being weird. We'll hook you up with some tickets if you're going to be weird. If you're here to support, we will love your support. But if you're not here to support, we'll hook you up, because you're looking like you're looking for attention right now, and I'll give it to you if you want it. Okay, but don't be weird. All right, cool. All right, moving on to our next segment, our must see segment. Some of y'all favorite must see movies, must hear music, must read books. You want to start this one off? All right, so my must see movies, y'all. Y'all must see these movies. My first movie came out in 1991, directed by Doug McHenry and George Jackson. This movie stars Christopher Reed, Christopher Martin, Tisha Campbell, and Queen Latifah and Martin Lawrence. This movie is called House Party 2, y'all. Fire comedy. If you've never seen any of the house parties, especially House Party 2, y'all missing the treat. It's a funny fire movie about a young man off to college. Finally, that big day where he's off to college. His father passes away, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see House Party 2. Funny movie. Next movie y'all must see came out in 1994, directed by John Frankheimer. This movie stars Samuel L. Jackson, Kyle McLaughlin, Chance Williams, Henry Dean Stanton, and Frederick Forrest. This movie is called Against the Wall. Again, another fire, very real movie. It was basically loosely written on a true story where the inmates at Attica was having a tough time with the guards, and they was able to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Against the Wall. My third and final movie y'all must see came out in 2023. It's actually a movie series. It's directed by Jeffrey Sachs. This movie stars Jasmine Johnson, Yamin Kahari, Toby Rigobo, and Tabata Circe. This movie is called, again, movie series is called Platform 7. This movie is about a young lady who is dead. She's dead. She wakes up at the train station and she can't leave the train station. And she's finding or trying to find different ways to leave to figure out how she ended up there, who she is, and all the makings of that. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. So again, make sure y'all tap in to see Platform 7, Against the Wall, and House Party 2. Make sure y'all tap in.
James Corburn and Jeff Pigeon. It's about this mythical world where where these monsters power their cities by scaring children by coming into their rooms late at night from their closet. I thought it was a very interesting movie how they portrayed it, and you definitely gotta watch the imagery for it. Since 2001, so if you ain't see it, definitely tap into it again, just as a nostalgia piece. Next one is Wally. Came out 2008. Again, stars Ben Hurt, Andrew Stanton, Elisa Knight, Jeff Garland, John Ratzenberger, Sigourney Weaver, Doctor, Kathy Haney, John Jasseter, Joe Rifton, Dave Foley, Andrew Stanton, Kevin Spacey, Richard Kind, John Ratzenberger again, and Bonnie Hunt. So this one is about a futuristic world where the Earth is basically depleted. Humans have left, and there's this one robot left, and he finds a plant that's actually growing, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens. Fire movie again has a bleak depiction of what would happen in the future, but it was a good one as well. So my last one on this one is A Bug's Life. Came out in 1998. Again, these people are repeat customers on this one. So it's again John Lasseter, Joe Ranfifth, Dave Foley, Andrew Stanton, Kevin Spacey again, Richard Kind, John Ratzenberger, Bonnie Hunt, and Brad Gary. This one is about a bug in his bug colony, and he starts to question his life and his position in his life. And you got to watch the rest of the movie to find out what happened. Dope imagery in Bug's Life. I thought it was pretty good, and it's a classic. So if you want to tap into my favorite Pixar movies, there are Monsters Inc., Wally, and Bug's Life.
Shout out to you, my brother. We always appreciate you. A shout out to Just Broke Night. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Yeah. What's up with the fellow? Cheek claps. I like that. I like that. That's fire. That's fire. I like that. I like that. All right, y'all. Moving on to our must hear. You got it. Y'all know me how I do my music for my official music lovers. Whether you're a classic hip hop fan, whether you're a classic R&B fan, you know I tap in on a different vibration. So I'm gonna give you that real good music. Tonight is gonna be some R&B. Make sure y'all tap into this artist. They do their thing a little different, but it's fire though. Put this artist on your playlist if you into that R&B. Put in Layla Hathaway. Layla Hathaway. Fire music. Put these three songs on your playlist. Number one, Stay Home Tonight. Number two, Heaven Knows. Number three, Baby Don't Cry. Baby Don't Cry is a cheat code. You play that literally like 15 times in a row. Again, Stay Home Tonight, Heaven Knows, and Baby Don't Cry. Fire, fire song. So make sure y'all tap into Layla Hathaway. Moving on to our must read books, y'all. You want to start this one off?
Third talent, Arthur Abernathy, and the name of the book is called "The Jew, a Negro," being a study of Jewish ancestry from an impartial standpoint. Fire book. Definitely breaks down the lineage of the so-called Jew and its ancestry from Abraham and all the way to present day. So it's a very good, quick read, very light, and again has wealth of information and has sources as well. So this one book will give you a whole bunch of different books. So again, the author's name is Arthur Abernathy, and the book is called "The Jew, a Negro."
And get again, pick up a book and get your mind right. There's nothing wrong with it. Expand your mind, y'all. So make sure y'all tap into that book. My must read book. It's about leadership. It's called The Art of Leadership. Fire book. Again, about the art of leadership. It's by Levi Anderson. So make sure y'all tap into the book. It's a really good book, a really good read, very powerful, and it will change your perspective on how to use leadership and when to use your leadership. So make sure y'all tap in to again the art of leadership by Levi Anderson. You got cologne for us? Man, again, y'all, the goal is to feel good, smell good, get good, get that woman under the tuck, have a good time. Y'all go, bust it up and make some memories. So make sure y'all smell right, fellas. There's nothing wrong with smelling right and getting a good skin treatment, y'all. Invest into those things. Smelling good and get your skin treatment right. It's gonna go a long way, trust me. So make sure y'all get right, fellas. All right, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps. Again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's button, the hyphenated sign, snaps.com. That's button, hyphenated sign, snaps.com. Make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. Kai Sanat Streamer University has officially started first day, and the school is fire. They got a whole bunch of stuff going on, and it seems like they're gonna really uh, it's really they seem like they're really gonna to raise the scale and the stock of podcasters, streamers, and people that do speak online. What impact do you think that this will have on the culture?
But since it's not going to be controlled by us, really, so it's going to be really hard to say what impact it's really going to have on the culture because it's not people at the top don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? So the ones at the top that really run the things, they're gonna really move and shake and really pick and choose where the image is gonna go. So as long as the streamer stays true to themselves and what they feel passionate about, I don't think like it wouldn't like go against them. You know what I'm saying? As long as they stay true to what they got going on. But it's still another great avenue to open up and like give other people an opportunity.
Easier and more accessible. So I love the fact that they have this together. Um, So, and then what's dope about it too, what I found out that I didn't know of, that Kai Cenat used his own money to do this. So they're gonna have the whole college. I forget the college that they're using for like a whole week that they're gonna do this. Made sure that the dorm security, they found over like 40 people that try to sneak onto the campus, and they had amount that the right amount of security and police to like, yo, y'all gotta get up out of here. Yeah, I know you're trying to get in, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta go. So he's also keeping the place as safe as he can be, because he did have that knock previously before when he had the event in New York City. So he does have this place security, security up, so the people could feel safe and create content and do their thing. So I think this is dope. I think this is going to open up many doors, many avenues, partnerships. It could lead to a whole bunch of endorsements if they play this thing right. So they're in the right spot to do what they need to do. So I hope they continue to make it happen. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Chris Brown released on $6 million, almost $7 million, $6,700,000 bond after being previously denied of bail, detained, and could be facing 16 years in UK if convicted for bodily harm with intent and alleged assault case. He does have a hearing in June. What do you think about that? See him go to Turkey. Don't send Breezy to Turkey. We don't want to see him in Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Let that man, plead out. If there's a strong enough case, hopefully he'll be able to plead out if it comes to that point. Being that it's in the UK, if you're him, would you go back in June for your hearing? I know I am, but would you go back?
Actually missing out on if you doing touring. So better go in response to that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot of tour dates that you gotta never respond to. Like, nah. So I definitely go and respond to that and get the top tier, top lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Handle that for me.
The team, you know what I'm saying? Get a team of lawyers, you know what I'm saying? Holla out to the Diddy team, you know what I'm saying? Because whatever they doing in the Diddy trial, you know what I'm saying? They own it, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully if Diddy, I mean if Breezy, say it was the baby oil, you know what I'm saying? He caught the baby oil and the baby oil made him do whatever that they perceivably think they got him on tape doing or whatever the case may be. It's like, yo, it's the baby oil, it was Diddy fault. So they might let him rock if you get the Diddy team. You know what I'm saying? So, I know I'm making light of it. In all seriousness, though, I hope that he does get a real team, a lawyer team, a team of lawyers that could really fight this case. Hopefully try to get him off, and at the very least, get a plea deal. Because if they trying to get 16 years, that means they mean business. So you're trying to get off. You don't want to go in there for the plea. You want to settle for the plea at the bare minimum. So to be real about the situation, I hope that he does that route and in return. So anything you want to add to that?
Top lawyers on that case for sure.
Yeah. Want to be away from his children and still got money to make out here, man. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Cleveland Browns officially signed Shador Sanders to a 4.6 million deal. The deal is about three to 4 years. It's really 4 years, but he got opt out so that if he does ball out, he could get to the bag sooner than later. If he balls out in that fourth year, what do you think about that?
Um, Drafted in a later round, so that also affects the money aspect. But I mean, for him, it's not even about the money; it's the opportunity. So $4 million ain't nothing for him. It's like, I mean, he's already had money. It's really more so about creating a legacy and making a name for himself, being the Browns quarterback. That's what I feel for him. So um, the money is um, a good deal, I guess, for being the sixth round. You know what I'm saying? 4 years, 4 million. So it ain't really, it's not really much. So you got to ball out, and he already has the skill set to do it. So it's just gonna be it's gonna be uphill from here.
And he unfortunately end up getting hurt. So that's quarterback one. He will never play in the Cleveland Browns uniform again. He's on the team for formalities, but he's never going to play again for the Cleveland Browns. Quarterback number two, Joe Flacco, at 40 years old. What do you really expect Joe Flacco to do at 40? At best, he's going to give you probably about 23 touchdowns, 14 picks. At worst, he's going to give you about 14 touchdowns and picks if you let him rock that long. He still has a strong enough arm to play, but he's a backup at this point. Good player. I think Shador can beat him straight up. Dylan Gabriel. I think Shador could beat him straight up, hands down. If Shador Sanders was on the Oregon Ducks last year, who would have started? Shador Sanders. And both have gotten better, but Shador has looked better in camp anyway. So I think he beats him out. And Kenny Pickett, I think he ends up getting traded because he's not solid. He's not a good quarterback. He was taken in the first round in his class, and he's looked terrible ever since. And I think the fact that he has very small hands plays a part in it as well. And I think he beats him out. So the point that I'm making that they ended up with a starting quarterback that's only going to make a little over 1.4 million a year, your starting quarterback. That is an egregious amount of money to pay a quarterback on the lesser end. So that they could really build their team because Deshaun Watson contract that could be voided. I'm not voided. It again is guaranteed, but because they got his contract on the high end, and Shador on the low end where he'll be the starting quarterback, I just think that's just perfect for their team. They could get rid of Joe Flacco's contract. He only make it 3 million. Kenny Pickett contract could actually be traded or cut if they so choose. So, and I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be the backup, which is not a bad backup. I think he's going to be an excellent backup, and he's a little older. He's not as young as what people think. So that's what I think will happen, and Cleveland will end up the victor on that as far as the financial side. So. Anything you want to add to that?
You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do on the field.
Door is. He was like, yo, don't call me two no more. Call me 12. I'm like, you gave up on the two dream, bro. We loved you with two, bro. So he's like, yo, call me 12. Don't call me two no more. I'm like, this dude, man. And he got the fire two chain as well. Come on, bro. All right, we going to respect it. Call you 12 from here on out. But damn, bro. Like, you was two to us, baby. Pause. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. A man accused of shooting and killing in execution style, murder caught on camera in North Miami, was hoping for a judge would grant him the chance to be released while he awaits trial. Video footage, like I said, caught him shooting a man in the face and killing him. 22-year-old Marcus Ursuli for robbing 21-year-old Malcolm Avery Johnson Jr. Wow, that could have been my cousin. For his gold medallion. And then shortly after, you seen the guy with the gold medallion on Instagram, with both him and his girlfriend rocking the medallion. What do you think about that?
From the judge? Is that what
Yeah,
it?
right. He's said that he didn't get bail from the judge while waiting trial.
The egregious nature of the crime. I'm saying it's robbery with a deadly weapon, and then the execution style murder that you committed. So there is no judge in any court of law gonna grant you bail. So you just got to sit and wait to court to, you know what I'm saying? It's a legend. So, wait to court to have your day in court. So I don't think there's no way you're gonna be able to get no kind of bail because of how violent the nature of the crime was. So I mean, they could always fight and try to get you bail because that's part of the legal proceedings, but ain't no judge gonna actually grant it.
Commit these crimes and they go on Instagram or any social media platform and pose with the stuff that they stole. Like what really be going through these dudes' head? Like one, that's not smart. That's not smart at all. Two, you're a whole demon out here and you don't deserve to walk and be in a free land with other people. You don't deserve it. So at the end of the day, I'm glad he was denied denied from being home. Who would want you on their streets? Who would want that? And I know we have to say alleged because this case right now is still in motion, but there's footage. There's footage showing him and his friend, and the guy gave up his medallion. Cool, yeah. I don't understand people who rob then kill. You got what you came for. So what's the purpose of the murder? The murder becomes egregious and unnecessary and cowardice on top of that because it's 2 to 1. I don't know. Maybe I just got the wrong mindset. When you outnumber somebody, ain't no need for weapons. You could rob somebody. I don't. Maybe I'm different. I'm from an area where you could actually rob somebody with no weapons, one on one. And if it came down to it, you put your hands on them. Not that I'm advocating for that, but the fact that it's 2 on 1, both of y'all got these big long guns, pause, and then you get what you came for, and then you kill him anyway. Man, never see the light of day. Throw away the key. Send that man to Turkey. Send that man to Turkey. That's crazy. The nerve. I hope they put him away where the sun never shines. That is crazy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. This next topic is very multi-layered. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. I don't know if you've seen the clip where Angel Reese was going to the basket. Caitlin Clark fouled her. Immediately, Angel Reese got up, tried to get in her face. Caitlin Clark teammate tried to, held her back like, yo, chill. Caitlin Clark kept walking, kept moving, and Angel Reese was, screaming obscenities to her. What do you think about that in itself?
NBA at least to get the numbers and the ratings up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's sensationalism at its finest. Um, but then let's just say it's just really just about basketball. If it was just basketball, was it was it called for? Was the foul that egregious where you needed to get in her face? You know what I'm saying? Was that all was her movements and actions called for if it's about basketball? You know what I'm saying? If it was about basketball and it was an egregious foul and it was called for you to vent your frustrations like you did, then fine. But I look at it as like, you know what I'm saying? The ratings ain't really that good. We need something because when y'all first came in the league, it was all about y'all two. So now they need to, they didn't market it the right way the first time. So now they're trying to figure out ways to market it again. And it's kind of like, it's kind of tiresome. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole black white thing. It's just about either you good or you not good. You know what I'm saying? That's all it really should be about. It's about the skill set and really showcasing the best of the best. Cause y'all all professionals, right? Y'all the top tier, the cream of the crop. So skill set should not be a factor in it. It should be like, yo, I'm gonna go out here and ball the fuck out and destroy my opponent. You know what I'm saying? That's what it should be about. And hopefully they could get to that and showcase top tier ball. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want to see. We want to see top tier ball and sometimes a little bit of attitude because it's needed in the game because y'all competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're not just gonna let the next person just come in the lane and just alley oop and scoop in you know what I'm saying? With no pushback. You know what I'm saying? So the competitiveness it has to be there, but as long as it's in good fun and it doesn't get outlandish, but if two competitors, you just can't really call it. But as long as the skill set is there and it's always showcased, that's all that matters to me.
Will play. Uh, Caitlin Clark is severely smaller than Angel Reese. So this particular play, she had to give off a hard foul. I thought it was suitable for the moment, and it was in game. Angel Reese response, I thought was also somewhat suitable, meaning that when she got up, like, watch how you throwing me, B. Like, yo, we out here. You know what I'm saying? And so I love that competitive nature with athletes. But I felt like it went egregiously because for what I've seen, in my opinion, because they got a history, that it felt a little extra. It's like, all right, you say what you need to say, and you know what I'm saying. You it is what it is. People break y'all up or whatever. All right, cool. Caitlin Clark already walked down the court, and you still talking, going crazy, pointing on. To me, that's extra. That has nothing to do with the competitive of basketball. That becomes personal. Now, is there a space for personal beefs in basketball? Yes, it is. There is a space for personal beef in basketball. Yes, it's called competitive nature. Basketball is not like football. Football is a sport depending on somebody else. You have to depend on another person for you have to depend on somebody to do your job, but you have to depend on a person to for your play to work. Basketball is straight individual based. So whether it's skill or fear or whatever competitive nature that you can use is all fair game. Do I think Angel Reese went a little extra because it was Caitlin Clark? Yes, because they have history. They just played in a women's basketball championship, I think about 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And Angel Reese team beat Caitlin Clark team. So I think there's history there where it's like, yo, it's on and popping when I see you. And I think the WNBA is using that tactic to help draw more fans to the sport, to bring the black and white, to bring out that race component, because you already got Caitlin Clark, who is the face of the league. I don't care who thinks differently. She's the face of the league because I've heard Ryan Clark says that she's not. She's the face of the league. She's not the best player in the league, but she's the face of the league because she makes people go to the games. She makes people turn on the tape because of her skill set. She's a very skilled player. She's the new exciting thing where she could dribble, and shoot them long ball threes. She's a good passer. She leads her team. So people want to see that. And of course, there's a race component that makes people want to watch her. Yes. Yes. So because of that, it is somewhat of a rivalry, but Angel Reese, her skill is different. She's more of a defender, a rebounder. She's not good on offense at all. That's the part of her game that needs to improve to make their dynamic a real rivalry because she's not good at scoring. She's not good at making layups. She's great at rebounding the ball, defensively. She got high motor and she know how to move her feet on defense. But she struggles with scoring. She struggles with layups. She struggles with wide open 3 pointers, wide open middies. She needs to work on her offensive game to make that a skillful, real rivalry. Because right now it's not necessarily a rivalry, but it's something to watch because of their history. So I didn't mind the fact that Angel Reese wanted to get it popping a little bit, but I believe she took it too far, mainly because of the history. So moving on to the next layer of this, RG3, quarterback RG3, former quarterback RG3, he said that he felt like it was a race component to their beef, where he felt like there was, I won't say race component. He felt like there was a hatred component to the beef, where the only reason why uh, Angel Reese reacted that way to Caitlin Clark was because he feels that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. To that, you say what?
Playing this person since college. You know what I'm saying? And y'all been going at it since college. So I look at it more so as like the longevity of them competing against each other for such a long time. And they're gonna constantly keep competing because they're in the WNBA now, so they're gonna play each other. So I just look at it more as a competitive and just media looking at it a little bit too much and trying to draw straws where I don't think it's really there. If it's just about basketball, I feel it's just really competitiveness. Like you've been playing this person since college. Like you alluded to, they played in a big championship game. Y'all both scored. You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all see each other. You know what I'm saying? You know who she is. She knows who you are. So it's like, and y'all have the history. So every time you see her, it's like, damn, that's the chick that and it's vice versa. So I think it's really more so on some competitiveness and the longevity of them playing against each other for that long. You know what I'm saying?
Out to T in the building. So now with Ryan Clark, he also, because of RG3's uh, take, feeling that it was more hatred based, that Ryan Clark feel like RG3 basically is missing the point where he feels, where because he doesn't know how a quote unquote black woman feel. Y'all know I hate the word black because we're not 3/5 of a people or person, but he feels like because RG3 is married to a white lady, that he feels like he wouldn't understand the struggles of black women having to play the sport and compete in sports. He doesn't have black children for him to understand that component. To that, you say what?
Because some of his takes be like a little outlandish because it's like that was a wild, egregious take. And then RG3, you kind of open yourself up too with that. The hatred aspect is like kind of open yourself up for that one a little bit, but Ryan Clark kind of took it to a whole nother field. So now it's not even going to be about the whole point of the foul and her being angry at Caitlin Clark for the foul. Now it's going to be some whole other shit that shouldn't even went that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it was even remotely close to that. That's my opinion.
Believe it became personal. Just like how Rob Parker opinion of RG3 was kind of personal when he said he's not really a brother brother. Like, I don't. Rob Parker shouldn't be talking. Nobody looks at him like, yo, he's such a brother. Like, come on, dude. Like, cut it out. And then Ryan Clark, it, a lot of his statements is very simpish, very corny, been corny. So let's keep that all the way above, respectfully. At the end of the day, RG3, when I look at his mother's is a sister. Last I checked, he was a brother. So when he has children, what do he have? He doesn't have half kids. Can't have half kids, y'all. It goes back to the theory of chocolate milk. When you put a little bit of chocolate in the milk, do you say, give me some of that half chocolate milk? You say, give me chocolate milk, correct? So his kids is what? He may not lay with somebody that is from the culture, who is a sister. Maybe not. Okay, I understand that. But at the end of the day, he's speaking whatever his opinion is, regardless if it's wrong or not. That's his opinion. Just like your opinion, Ryan Clark. And not to mention, Ryan Clark, your baby mom or your first wife was also not a sister neither. So you was playing outside as well. So I don't even understand. Like, we have this thing in the culture, in the community, where we're supposed to be more brother than the other brother. Yeah, I'm more brother than him. Like, that's where it comes that light skin and dark skin component. Yeah, he not really brother. He light skin. Dude, you will get your face slapped off playing with me. Anybody that know me know I don't play them type of games. Y'all see my brother to the right. I call him my brother because that's the type of relationship that we have. We don't have colorism between us because I'm light skinned and he dark skinned. I met this brother in college. We played on the same football team. We have the same interests, and we became brothers ever since. So all that colorism is for people that's trying to prove a point within themselves in the community where they're not as corny. I'm not as corny as him, but look at me though. No, you're corny, bro. When people have a different opinion of you, let that rock. Even if you have a difference of opinion, having opinions is cool. Having an opinion is cool. Now, whoever's the messenger, that does matter as well. Yes, that does matter. Now, do I agree with RG3's statement that it was fueled by hatred with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark? No, I don't. No, I don't. I said what I said. I feel like that was fueled by just sheer history and the love of the game. Do I feel like it was a little bit extra because of the history? Yes. Yes. So at the bottom line, WNBA, if you want coverage, you have to be ready for big boy responses. What that means is people are going to say things that are not true about y'all sport or about y'all players. You cannot go into a cocoon because somebody's going to say, well, we felt like this was out of this and this was out of that. This is a part of getting attention. You can't complain about getting attention, regardless if it's wrong or right. It's attention. What do they say? All publicity is good publicity. So you can't want the big money if you don't want the publicity. Can't have it both ways. So when y'all start indoctrinating, because this is coming from Ryan Clark again about the black woman struggle, and well, man, give me a yo. This is sports, bro. This is sports. Rosa Parks don't have nothing to do with Angel Reese making her layup, bro. What are we talking about? We're talking about sports. And every time a racial component that could be personal. It could just be personal. Like, yo, I don't like you, and that's cool. In everything that we have in subculture in this country, we love competitiveness. We love competitiveness in music. We love competitiveness in sports. Regardless if somebody is a brother or a non-brother, that shouldn't matter. It's just whatever their personal beef is personal, and let it be competitive. If I have a beef with another rapper, I can't, and the rapper is white, I can't say, well, for me to get here, the struggles of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and like, because nobody gonna bring that up because why? I'm a dude. So why, when we trying to put these women on, we gotta bring in all this other bullshit. Because that's exactly what it is. Stick to the sport, bro. Stick to the sport. I just don't understand that the simp. You don't have to simp. You could just keep it funky, and you'll still have women agree with you, bro. It's all right. I just don't understand it. And again, this is another take and another place where somebody got to show they're more brother than the other brother. Dude, just be cool. Do your shows. You're successful. Ryan Clark, you're successful. Do your show, bro. You don't have to try to downgrade somebody to make yourself look better or to put yourself in a better light within the community. Because guess what? When they want your day to come, it's going to come. And you're going to sit there and say, but I got a history of being a feminist. You're not going to win no awards, bro. Just keep it funky. Anything else you want to add to that, bro?
uh, um, mediators when it comes to certain topics to like make it more sensationalized, even if it's at a cost to the own mediator themselves. You know what I'm saying, the own person that they bring it up, because it's like just looking at the situation between these two players, how you gonna just pull the race card on this situation when you were a player? You understand that you have a competitive nature. You understand that, hey, this other person that plays on the Jaguars, you just don't like this person, this particular person. You know what I'm saying? Like, outside of them having that uniform on, they're probably cool. But because they have this uniform and they play for this team, and y'all have this competitive nature, you just don't like that person. Why can't it just be that, instead of bringing a whole nother layer to it, which is probably wasn't even called for? You know what I'm saying? Like was saying before, is just them having a long standing rivalry of playing in college, now playing professionally. I just feel that's all it really is. But because we need to sensationalize things, they're gonna pick and choose those that quote unquote look at us because they pay them to do these commentating, right? And then they'll pick these people up. Yep, RG3, yep, it's your turn. All right, Ryan Clark, you up now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Shannon Sharp, you next. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how I feel it really is, because how you boil down to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you play ball, like, not that you didn't play basketball, but you played ball. You played professionally, so you should understand competitiveness and not liking a certain player. Like, right, there's a couple of players, Ryan Clark, you shouldn't like the way they did you greasy in the game. You know what I'm saying? That's the game. So you should understand it because you played the game. So how do you come to this crazy hootenanny point? So that's why I feel it's like you had been called up. Like, you want this extra 10,000? We need you to, you know what I'm saying, sensationalize this, make it a little bit bigger. We need to run this for like 2 days or something. So
Because again, from what I heard, that they were saying that you know Caitlin Clark is the most important player of the league, and the girl on the woman on the I can't think of her name right this second. It escaped me right this second, but she dates Bam Adebayo. She plays for the Vegas Viper. I think that's the name, the Vipers. I know her name when I hear it. We talked about it previously before she had dropped the sneaker. Her name just escapes me right this second. But she's a great player. She's the best player in the league. She's the best player in the league. I think her name starts with a. I don't want to say it, but she won like the last three MVPs, if not four MVPs. She got championships. She's the best player in the league, hands down. She bodies chicks. Nobody can mess with her. She be killing these girls. I kid you not. But she's not the face of the league. The face of the league is what move tickets. It's the household name. That's the face of the league, which is Caitlin Clark. Now, do Angel Reese have the ability to be the face of the league? Not at the moment, but she has the ability because she has great defense. If she improves her offense, if she really improves her offense and her brand becomes about basketball, she can be the face of the league. Angel Reese is a nice looking woman. She can play ball. But if she could get her offense together, she could really rival Caitlin Clark for the face of the league. But Caitlin Clark brand is basketball. And because people have an interest to Caitlin Clark and they go to the games, they go to her games the most. They watch her games the most when it comes on the TV. That's the face of the league. It's plain and simple. Take the feelings out of it. Jordan was face of the league for what reason? He was the best player in the league, but that best player in the league happened to be the most entertaining player in the league. He happened to be the player where no matter what city he went to, people was going to go see MJ. We not in MJ, we not in MJ, we not in MJ era no more. Forget about MJ. Let's say LeBron. What happens when LeBron come to the city? Tickets are sold out. What are we talking about? Like, I don't understand the difference between the best and the person who is the face. The face of the league is person who moved the tickets. And for a while, it wasn't LeBron. It wasn't LeBron for a while, y'all. Surprise, surprise. It was Stephen Curry. When Stephen Curry comes to your city, who did you want to see? Stephen Curry. You know who had a chance to be the face of the league recently, but he messed it up by doing the things that he did? John Morant. John Morant could have easily been the face of the league before he had all this doing all this gun stuff on Instagram and all that. Because I seen it personally. I go to the Orlando Magic's games all the time. Atlanta coming to town, game is popping. Brooklyn coming to town, game is popping. Knicks coming to town, game is popping. Indiana coming to town, game is popping. When the Grizzlies came into town during that time, before he had all this gun stuff, when he was showing the gun on Instagram, everybody and their mother in Orlando was at that. It was standing room only. I still got it on my phone when he went to the hole on one leg, jumped up on the other, and dunked on Robin Lopez. I got that on my phone, and the crowd went nuts. You would think that John Morant played for the damn Orlando Magics. So the face of the league is different from the best player in the league in some instances. And then this is one of those instances. Even though Caitlin Clark is the face of the league, the girl from Vegas is the best player in the league. Angel Reese has a chance to be the face of the league if she could get her offense together because she's a great defender, great rebounder. If she get her offense together, she could be competing for that. So that's all I had to put that extra on that. Shout out to y'all in the chat. They going in about the Eminem comment. They's like Eminem is the best rapper in the world. Who's better? Well, for technical purposes, shout out to Critical Rick in the building, one of our badge holders. We heard it out of Eminem mouth when he said when 50 Cent came out, he knew he was done with rap. So that's a fact on that. That's a fact on that. You may disagree, but you talk to somebody from Brooklyn, so you know who I'm going with. I'm going with Jay-Z and I'm going with Biggie Smalls as the best rappers ever. So and that's not just bias. That's that's very arguable. Skill level. Taking over the game, countless of classic albums, unskippable albums on top of that. So that's my reason. But shout out to Critical Rick always holding us down. Shout out to GS in the building. Shout out to Martello in the building. Who else? Shout out to Levon in the building. Shout out to the Swiffer in the building. Uh, it won't let me go up further. But shout out to y'all in the building. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Hit that like button, y'all. It's a lot of y'all in here. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Remy Ma. This has been like the hottest thing in the last 3 hours. Remy Ma gives her take on what's going on with the separation between her and Papoose, rapper Papoose. Uh, she said she was waiting for him to sign the papers, been waiting for him to sign the papers, showed videos of his bag being packed, and he's the one that don't want to move on, and that she's been a mom that's been there and things of that nature. Papoose replied very recently, as 2 hours ago, he went on his live, and again, I'm paraphrasing. He said he never respond. I've never seen Papoose respond to anything Remy Ma has said, but he showed some or played some audio proof on the fact that one, the that she was cheating, and he felt like she cheated multiple times, and the one time which is publicized with the rapper, I can't think of his name, but he felt like she was exhibiting crackhead behavior because she was leaving in the middle of the night, wouldn't see her for days. He said he asked her straight up, "Do he have something over your head?" He was sent an audio video of the rapper saying that he'd have, sexual material that he could release at any point in time, whether they stop messing with each other or they don't stop messing with each other. So basically, he controlled the strings of that. Then there was another audio of Remy Ma saying that, yo, things would have, we could have been cool and things could have been easier to get past if you wouldn't have punched dude in the face. So now I gotta play it cool, or like I have to play it cool just to kind of keep the peace because that he might hold something over her head. To that you say what?
Accountability in her all her actions. Like all of this sounds like there's no accountability because when there was time for her to sign the paperwork, she was the one that dragging her feet this whole time. So now you ready to sign the paperwork? This like 3 years later.
She wasn't the one. She said that, that he couldn't find the proper lawyer to do the case, which I call cap only because she said that everything was taken care of as far as she wasn't asking for child support. She wasn't asking for anything. So if you're not asking for anything, y'all both don't necessarily need a lawyer to move your case forward because y'all not going in front of no judge. Y'all going to see the referee or the administrative judge. So y'all not seeing anybody that it's gonna hold court if y'all not fighting for anything. So if you don't want anything and he don't want anything, y'all don't need no lawyer. So I call cap to that.
Never have to mention nothing about any of this stuff. Just sign the paperwork and move on because you still in the wrong. So whatever you're doing now, you're still in the wrong. It's not going to clean your face up. It's not going to make your image any better. Like people did not forget that you cheated on a person that stayed with you while you was locked up in jail, and that's unheard of for a man to stay with you locked up, marry you. You know what I'm saying? Come visit you, do all this, that, and the third, and you still cheat on him. Like, what is there left for a man to do? He can win the damn Super Bowl 7 times, be an award-winning actor. You know what I'm saying? Top tier in his class in acting, right? Could be a fucking top tier surgeon, and it still don't matter. They still gonna leave you for the tennis player, the tennis instructor, the jujitsu trainer. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's just crazy out here. So it's like I call cap on all that. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga just moved on, did what he's supposed to do, waited for you to finally come around and sign paperwork, but now you want to come out and go online and you're right. This is the first time we ever seen Pat even speak on this thing. And then there's been a lot of scenes that he put hands on, bro, but nobody ain't seen no video. You know what I'm saying? Like people always pull out their phones all the time, but we ain't seen no video footage of him actually putting hands and feet on bro that, you know what I'm saying, cheated, you know what I'm saying, that caused his wife to cheat on him. You never see no videos of that. So that goes to show you like bro could have put out any footage that he wanted anytime, been the bigger person, and then he's just I feel like he's just at his wits end. Like you just been talking way too much. Here's some receipts that's just gonna make you sit calm quietly. You know what I'm saying?
She had made mention. She said for infidelity wasn't the reason why they had their divorce. She said she felt like she already knew that he was doing his little thing on the side because she was away. But to that, Pap calls Cap because he said for 100 and something days straight, he was up and down at that prison. She had to tell him go home. And, but she said that she fought chicks on Thanksgivings and she knew what it was, but that wasn't the reason why their relationship was had ended. But there is a get back component where you're obviously having a relationship with another man. So she said they haven't physically slept in the same bed since 2022. So, all this, she's saying there's a lot that we don't know, but you're taking the time to tell us. So she was going off and saying why these things was going on. Of course, she cracked a lot of jokes. Some of them jokes was absolutely hilarious, but were they factual? See what I'm saying? So the fact that Papoose had his receipts, and Papoose did fess up for putting hands on dude. He said it straight up. He said he knew of her infidelity. I don't know if he was unfaithful at any point, but they both opted to get counseling to go get help, and they did. And she said the only reason why she's dealing with dude because they already got business because of the battle lead. He's a battle rapper. So because of that, she still has, a couple obligations to the lead and to dude. So Pap said, yo, next time I see him, I'm putting hands on him. Not because, and this is coming out of Papoose mouth, not because he slept with you, it's because he shook my hand and then slept with you. So he did confirm that the next time he seen him, that he laid him out. So he did confirm that.
And we know he did. It happened, but in this day and age, somebody always pulling out a video, pulling out their phone and video recording it. Like we know it happened. There's many people who said it happened, but the fact that there is no video of it showcases like, yo, there's level of respect there because it could have been on any blog site for how long? You know what I'm saying? Nobody never seen no video of it. So when he finally comes out and showcase and has video receipts, it just showcases like, yeah, this is somebody who's at their wits end and is just tired of the whole situation of one party just bad mouthing the other party. And now he's just like, all right, here's what I have to just quell all this out because all these lies it has to be shut down.
I talked about Bill and Camille. I talked about Jada and Will. I talked about Pat and talked about Remy. So I feel like everybody I talked about is like doomed from that song or whatever. It's like I talked about Barack and Michelle. It's like we don't have no representation. And even though that's his brand of showing like, yo, that's black love. Y'all know I hate saying the word black. That's not what we are. Um, it it don't kill the representation of that type of love for me personally, but what it meant to the culture, it really meant something to the culture. So this is why this is ringing out. This is why it matters what she's saying and what he's saying because it's going to matter because what they represented to the whole culture. Regardless, I'm taking myself out of it. I love seeing it. He's a fellow brother from Brooklyn, just like me. She from the BX, she from the Bronx. We have mutual peoples as far as me and Remy Ma. So I've been like real cool on what I've been saying out of respect for this person. But at the end of the day, it got super messy. And Remy Ma came off as very bitter. She came off it was very funny, but it came off very bitter. Because when you really don't care, when you really done, you don't have to go on social media to say this. You don't. You just do your thing. You just do your 1, 2, and you just move forward with your life. And anybody that have questions about your life, you just have to ask yourself the question: are they important enough for you to answer that? Simple as that. If you can't take people going into your comments and saying little things or whatever the case may be, it's like, yo, that's free publicity. What did I say before? All publicity is good publicity. So people coming into your page asking questions and saying little things, yo, you bigger than that. You've been a celebrity for the longest, right? You should know how to handle that. This shit shouldn't even bother you because in your real life, you're dealing, you already moved on. That's what people that really moved on. That's what it looked like. Regardless, like, and to me, the things that she could say about him can be true. We don't know for sure, and that's all fair game. But I thought Remy Ma hit a low blow when she talked about Papoose son. She's saying that part of the reason why he probably wants a child with his new relationship, Clarissa Shields, the heavyweight champ or the champ of women's champ, is that he wants a son and he already has sons, meaning that he has a son with her that was from a previous relationship, and he felt like he's been a father to her son all these years, and he has another son that he necessarily don't rock with because of his sexual orientation. That I felt like was a straight and a low blow to throw that aspect in there of the children. To that you say what? Yeah, that she said that the reason why he wants another son because he doesn't agree with the other son's sexual orientation. About him and they choose to say about each other, all fair game. We're all adults, right? Once, but you got to understand, once you put it out, people are going to say what they say because you put it out. But when it comes to the kids, like his sexual orientation shouldn't be on anybody's mind in the world. Shouldn't be. It shouldn't have been presented that way. That wasn't your story to tell. So I thought that was the part that I found very foul. Other than that, everything else, honestly, is fair game, whether it's true or untrue, because no matter what, y'all know relationships get tricky. Y'all know this. If anybody has ever been in a relationship and it ended toxically, y'all know that it gets very tricky. Y'all know, regardless if you say the truth or you lie, majority of the things that you say while breaking up is a tactic to get under the other person's skin. So we know this. Even if a guy is sitting there telling the truth, oh, this particular woman is going to say what she's going to say to get under his skin. It could be vice versa. A woman could be very true in what she's saying, but the dude is going to say whatever it takes to get under your skin. Not all men and not all women. Individual based. Remember, very individual based. So again, we know this is a tactic and it's fair game because y'all chose to put it out. Kids off limits. And mind you, these are grown kids, but again, nonetheless, that's still not your business to tell. So that's how I look at that particular portion. Shout out to Coos in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Y'all hit them likes. Y'all hit them likes. Hit them likes. Hit the 100s in the chat, y'all. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Anything you wanted to add to that? My bad. All right. Moving on to our next hot topic. NBA playoffs is going crazy. I believe OKC won tonight. If I'm not mistaken, let me just double tap and check because the last time I seen it was killing the yeah they up 2-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Uh, with that series being up two with OKC being up 2-0 in that series against the Timberwolves, what do you think? team. Minnesota do have the skill set and the talent to come back, tie this up 2-0. I hope they do to make it a longer, playoff series, to make it very interesting. You got Anthony Edwards, to me, who has the ability to be the face of the league. Because why, y'all? When P plays, people want to watch him play. He didn't win MVP this year, but he makes people want to see him play. Simple and plain. So, face of the league has the ability to do that. So, I'm not saying that he is at the moment, but he's in the running to be the face of the league. Both him, in my opinion, and Victor Wembanyama is guys who could possibly be the face of the league. Even though SGH is nice, he won the MVP. He could win another MVP next year. Who knows? But people love watching Anthony Edwards play. So I hope that they, tie it up, make it a better series. Both are great teams, and I want to see more out of Minnesota. I want to see more. They've been missing a lot of jump shots. Moving on, Knicks down 0-1 versus the Pacers. Game last night was off the hook. One of the best playoff games I've seen in a long time. Very good game. Unfortunately for you, because you a Knicks fan, y'all down 0-1. They blew a lead though. They blew a lead. They went on a 26 run. And I've never heard of this. A 20-6 run in the last 2 minutes and a half. Before that, anytime a team was up, the difference that they was up is 994 and 0. They were the first team to lose. Again, they went on a 20-6 run in the last 2 minutes and a half. What do you think about that last night's game?
And the first game of the series is it's a 7 series game. So it's the first game. We went on to the second one, you know what I'm saying? And they only beat us by 3. They have to do all that to only win by 3. So it's like, as long as the Knicks keep the same keep the same energy they have. I would like to see a little bit more rotation, but it's Thibodeau, so it's like it is what it is. But at the end of the day, yes, that is a crazy run, but they only won by 3. You feel me? So it's like they have to do a lot in that to win by 3. So again, they was in the right places. It's still a good ass series again. So we're on to game 2 tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying?
Serious changes. I really do. They played a great game, but they scored more points than they normally score. That type of high scoring game is not the Knicks' pace. The Pacers made them play their pace. The Pacers just doing a lot of carelessness with the ball in the first 3 quarters, and it was missing a lot of jump shots. So, with that being said, and those guys in foul trouble, so the Knicks have to do a better job in one. And I've said this previously, was that damn rotation. When it gets thick like that at the end of the game, it matters. Guys lose their legs. And because they lose their legs, they no longer hitting those jump shots in the beginning of the fourth quarter as they would at the end of that fourth quarter. So because of that, that was a major cog, and he does not believe in heavy rotations, and it's hurting the team. For a fact that a team could come back in 2 minutes and a half 20-6 run. That's not a good. I almost turned the game off. I almost turned the game off. There's 2 minutes left. What are we talking about? There's no way they shouldn't have been able to even tie the game up. And mind you, they only tied the game up because Halliburton's foot was on the line. So at the end of the day, the Knicks need to tighten up. Better rotation, and Cat has to play in the box. When he missed that 3 was when the Knicks lost the game. When they in that last 2 minutes and a half, the Knicks got like 3 rebounds in a row. They kicked it out to Cat. He went for the 3 brick. He has to play in the box. He's a great player. He has the skill and the shooting touch to play outside the box and inside the box. Bro, it's late fourth quarter. Your legs is no longer the same. Get in the box. So they have to make certain changes to oppose their will. Put put OG, let him operate more so in the box as well at the top of the key. You know, you guys have, yeah, yeah. The Knicks have bigger body guys. Pause. So they need to take advantage of that while they're playing. So Pacers, I said Pacers not going to be no easy out. This is going to be a series. This is because the Pacers got a whole bunch of runners and gunners. They shoot, and that's their pace. What they play, they'll give you a basket, so they go get a basket. That's just their pace. So I think the Knicks got some work to do. They got the talent, but I hope they continue to put on a great show. I love seeing my city, you know, going crazy the way it's been going, but it was quiet after that L last night. Quick shout out to T. So you saying that was he got two biological sons? No, talking about Papoose. So Papoose has Remy Ma was saying he has a biological son who's older, and she feels like uh, her son with somebody else is Papoose' father because Papoose was there ever since he was like 4 or 5. So they have that type of relationship as son and dad, but he wants another son with Clarissa. So going back to that low key Dallas Marley, shout out to T Schmook in the building. Why don't you? Funny. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. We just talked about Shea Gillis Alexander wins the MVP. Had a great MVP speech and gifted his teammates all Rolexes. What do you think about all three? Came into the league that was an all right player. He wasn't an uberly talented. Oh yeah, we got to get Shea Gillis. We're like, okay, he's a point guard. He's athletic. He's good, but he's not great. Coming out of Kentucky, I remember watching him play. He got a whole bunch of skills, but it's like, can he ever put it together? And steadily, he improved, kept improving, and had the ability to go to the Thunder and really improve himself to being a franchise caliber player. And now he's a superstar caliber player, and has the ability to be the face of the league as well because people love to see him play. So we're going to continue to see his uprise. I wish him the best. I know his teammates love the fact that they got new rollies. They pulled up on him at the Rolly store. He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got these little boxes for y'all and everything, you know. Open them up, and it was all new Rolexes. So shout out to Shea Gillis Alexander for being the MVP in the NBA. Moving on to our next hot topic. The Cleveland Browns is exploring the possibility of relocating their home from Huntington Bank, downtown Cleveland, um, to a suburb in Brook Park. I'm sorry, downtown Dome. I'm sorry, that's in Brook Park. But they're looking to possibly move the team because they're not getting the funding or wouldn't get the funding possibly for a new stadium. What do you think about that?
Like, how you not getting the funding? You just gave Deshaun Watson $230 million. What you mean y'all ain't getting the funding? Where's the funding? Where's the funding supposed to come from? Like, the city supposed to pay for that? The taxpayers supposed to pay for that? But y'all tax exempt. Y'all got money in the bank. Why don't y'all pay for your own stadium? You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. They don't got no funding. Yo, y'all tax exempt company. Like, what are you talking about? So y'all don't pay no taxes on the land you own. You charge an exorbitant amount of prices for tickets, and then on top of it, you don't got no bread. Yo, that's crazy. That's tricking people out their spot. You know what I'm saying? That's insane to me. To say you don't got no money to move, or to, you know what I'm saying, that you don't have no money for a new stadium. That's cap. And then we talking about Cleveland Brown. It ain't like, it's not like a historic franchise like, you know what I'm saying, Dallas Cowboys, where you see the bread. We know you have the money because of the league. Y'all generate this money as a league as a whole, like billions of dollars. Now, when we talk about the individual teams in themselves, they generate millions of dollars every home game. So what are you talking about? I'm pretty sure the Cleveland Browns parking lot when the home game is on is lit. Come on. So don't tell me y'all don't got the breads. That's bullshit. Where's the forensic accounting? Yeah, on y'all end. Open up the book so we can see if y'all don't got it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all damn sure ain't giving the money away. So yeah, that's insane.
Saying like they'll feel like they should pay for the stadium because they employ the people in the city. So they like, yo, what you got on my 40, homie?
And you'll spend a lifetime, but how many people you know somebody that works at the Giant Stadium or knows? It's very few, very seldom. You know what I'm saying? And even if you know somebody that works at the Giant Stadium, they don't got no high position in the stadium. They don't got no connects where they can be like, yo, come through Saturday. I got you. Don't even trip. You want to see? You know what I'm saying? Like, who y'all employing?
In all fairness, the Giants ain't in New York City. You know what I'm saying? They ain't in New York. So in all fairness, I know somebody that worked for the Nets, and I know some people that work for the Knicks. I ain't never met nobody that worked for the Giants or the Jets because of that. So in all fairness,
They're talking about they employ the community. That's a farce because it's like you're not employing them at a high wages to do what, to pour beer? You know what I'm saying? Like you're not paying people that much a high wage. Like and yeah, and then that's they claim the fame, like, oh, we employ the community and this, that, and the third. Like that's a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I employ the community at very, very minimum wages, if that, you know what I'm saying? And you're not giving back to the community at all because y'all tax exempt. So it's like y'all have the money, but you want the city to pay for it. That's really what it is. And y'all keep y'all money for yourselves to do whatever the fuck y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, no, no. You know what I'm saying? It's really them.
to the NFL, we need a team in Cleveland. Like bring back a team in Cleveland. So they brought back a team in Cleveland, and they let Baltimore be its own entity and not have all the accolades that Cleveland had previously. So if I'm the mayor of Cleveland, I know there's probably a lot of financial strains that's going on in Cleveland. You know, in that particular area. But again, you have to do your due diligence, and you have to be smart. You have to be smart, regardless of its minimum wage. They're still employing people that would not be employed anywhere else. So at the end of the day, is it feeding a need? It is. At the end of the day, would people have some of these jobs? They wouldn't. So they have to be very careful on how they move forward because if you got more people who don't have jobs, now you have to do the due diligence as a city. How are you going to curve that employment rate? So it, there's two sides to every coin on this. So I get where Cleveland has their leverage because they have the cachet. They do have the money, obviously, because they've been around for 75 years. There's no way you can operate and not have the money, even though the Cleveland Browns is a storied trash organization. They still a storied organization because they're one of the first teams in NFL history. So, and then when they first came out, they was popping. They was popping originally. So they have to be very careful how they make their next move because now if they move Cleveland to another city, then again that fan base, what happens to that fan base? I mean, just look at St. Louis. I know the St. Louis Rams wish that they could have their team back. I'll tell you that much. I tell you that much. Ain't nothing popping off in St. Louis right now. Because them people in St. Louis ain't trying to drive all the way to Kansas City to go to them Kansas City games in Missouri. So they have to they have to be smart on their next decision. Have to be smart. Shout out to Daydream in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. On the back. Daydream is funny. But I feel the sentiment though. I feel the sentiment. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbbravosection.com. Again, bigbbravosection.com. If you're in the Miami area, you can book a session with one of the best photographers in the world. If you're not, you can still book that session. They'll come out and take care of your session. It starts at bigbbravosection.com. Uh, you got Black's Law Dictionary for us?
So the first word on here is called privy. So word means a person who is in private with another, one who is a partaker or who has any part or interest in any action, matter, or thing. In connection with a doctrine of res judica, one who, after the commencement of the actions, has acquired an interest in the subject matter affected by the judgment through or under one of the parties as by inheritance, succession, purchase, or assignment. All right, so next word is privy council. So privy council is in England the principal council of the sovereign composed of the cabinet, ministers, and other persons chosen by the king or given or the queen as privy councillors. The judicial committee of the Privy Council acts as a court of the ultimate appeal in various cases from the Crown colonies and the Commonwealth. One important one importance of the Privy Council has been replaced to a great extent by the cabinet. All right, so next word is privy verdict. So privy verdict is a verdict given privily to the judge out of court, but which was of no force unless afterwards affirmed by public verdict, given openly in court. Now generally superseded by the sealed verdict, i.e. one written out, sealed up, and delivered to the judge or to the clerk of courts. All right. And last word is privilege. So privilege means possessing or enjoying a privilege, exempt from burdens, entitled to priority or precedence. So our words this week were privy, privy council, privy verdict, and privilege. So if you have any words that you want to find the legal definition of, you can leave it in the chat and I'll look it up for the next episode.
Words, y'all. Be serious, be intentional. These are words that we use every day, and a lot of times we misuse them all the time. People's favorite word to misuse all the time. We hear it, especially on social media, is narcissism. We went over the word, and that's why these words are important. Words have power, so make sure you're going to send words in. Be intentional. Be serious. All right. All right. Moving on to our next segment. Our keep the lie alive segment. Keep the lie live. So my keep the lie live for this episode is fall in love with being happy. Every single day we see on social media, we see in real life people literally crashing out. And it's mainly because they find themselves in a position in their life that they don't like their life. They don't love their life. They don't realize they have the power to design your life, design the life that you want. That whatever life that you want, you can actually have it. You can actually have it. When there's a will, there's a way. If you don't have the will, if you have brittle spirit, then pack it up and don't complain. But if you want to get to that other side of really enjoying your life, Fall in love with the process of doing so. Fall in love with being happy because at the end of the day, it's your life to live. It's up to you if you want to get up 5 in the morning to get ready for that job. At least if you're going to get ready for that job, love the job that you're going to. Love the job that you work. Be impactful to the job that you do because nobody can judge it, regardless of what you want to do. There's people that their dream, literally their dream. I went to high school with people where their dream was actually to have a family. That was their dream. I went to school with women in college that their dream was to be a nurse and then to have a family. I knew women in the workplace that was working while they had their family. They coming to work pregnant and all. They say, I want it all. I'm gonna try to get it all. I'm gonna work and have my child now. I want my family now and I want to work a little now. Because so that way I don't have to work so much later and I can enjoy my child. Design the life that you want. Do what it takes. Fall in love with being happy. Why do things that constantly bring a strain to your heart, your head, your energy, bring you down, this low vibration? Why continue to do that? You have the power to change it. It's literally up to you, no matter what. Like, even myself, I never would have thought I would live the life that I live. Never. I never would have thought I would have been a music artist, ever. Transitioning to running businesses, still being a music artist, dope rapper might I add. If you've never heard my music before, just type in "Ask Lovechild" and then make it do what it do, baby. But all with that said, I've been able to live an amazing life, and I didn't see it going this way. Not that I wouldn't have an amazing life, but I thought I was going to be an athlete. I really thought that, and when I had the chance to, I didn't want it no more. My body was in constant pain all the time, playing college football. It was in constant pain. So the life that I end up having is a wonderful life. And it was all strategic in a sense where whatever my mind and my heart told me to do, I did with such a relent motor that I'm going to do this to the utmost and to the highest extent, regardless if my path is untraditional. I set my own path. So because I set my own path and it's not traditional, I have to do this at a pace that nobody can rival it. So, but that is not for me. I'm not the only person. There's several people that do it every day. They design their lifestyle. I work with people and I've seen different companies and I've seen different individuals that make an exorbitant amount of money and they're not happy with their life. So money is also not a key to happiness because money is not real. Money is a tool. You use it for whatever purpose and need that it needs to be. Like I said, some people ultimate goal in life is to have a family. Money is a tool, but it's not the ultimate factor. So the bottom line, fall in love with being happy. Just do the process of whatever it takes for how long it takes regardless if there's money attached to it, opportunity, if you love doing something, if you love being somewhere, then you need to be doing that. Because within that, you will never work a day in your life. So that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. Anything you want to add to that, bro? Appreciate that, my brother. Again, we want to thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all been amazing as always. We're on every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? Again, we got over 400 rewatch videos of this podcast on this channel. So again, tap into those videos. Great for conversational starters, just great for entertainment as well. But we kick that real and we also have a good time because we talk about everything. Some things trivial and some things, some real heavy stuff as well too. Also, a shout out to some of the sponsors of our show, Bravo Section, Button Snaps, and OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at, again, if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show. Again, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11,000 subs. So again, continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. You just never know when I'm gonna pop up. So be on the lookout. Also, got my new EP on the way. My new EP on the way, coming out May 29th. That's right around the corner. Again, May 29th on all music platforms. Ashley Lovechild. The new EP is called Winners Loyalty. Again, it's called Winners Loyalty on all platforms. So make sure y'all tap in to that. Also, again, we're on this Sunday at 10:30 as well. I know my bro got his website. Make sure y'all tap in. In. Um, What else? What else? What else? Again, man, we appreciate y'all every episode. Please hit them likes, y'all. Hit them likes from you. Hit them likes. Hit them 100s. Hit them 100s. Hit them 100s in the chat. It'll go a long way. Hit them hearts. Hit them hearts as well. We appreciate y'all always, each and every episode for showing up and showing out. And again, we're on every Thursday, every Sunday, and you can tap into me on TikTok as well too. I'm also on TikTok at Ashley Lovechild Mojo. Ashley Lovechild Mojo on TikTok. So if y'all also on TikTok, tap into the TikTok on there as well too. I'll be talking my stuff on there too. So make sure y'all tap in. Y'all already know y'all. We'll be back this Sunday at 10:30. And it's love. And we'll see y'all next time. We out.